Alright, time to make a few changes to my fan casting for Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You're smart motherfuckers, that's right.
If you're new here, we do plenty of videos like podcasts, episode reviews, theory, analysis, what ifs. So if you like those things, subscribe so you don't miss out. If anyone has seen my live action casting for the Avatar: The Last Airbender series, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. If you have seen that, thank you for watching it. But I got a lot of feedback from it. Some really agree with a lot of my choices, others didn't, and I understand them all. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple changes to that because that was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago that I made that, and I think a lot has changed. Okay, so one of the biggest changes I want to make to my fan casting is for Zuko. Now, I do absolutely love Ludi Lin. It's just that he's like 32 years old right now, and the development of the show seems to be going at snail's pace, especially given everything with COVID-19. And so by the time the show wraps, he will probably be about 37 years old. And that just seems maybe a little bit too old. And a lot of you said this, a lot of you thought he was too old, and I agree at this point. Before, I think it was fine. Now, kind of maybe too much time has gone by. So instead, in his place, I'm going with Brandon Soo Hoo, as a lot of you recommended. He's 24 years old, so he's not that old, and he can definitely pull off a teen Zuko for at least another, 5 to 10 years. And he's also Asian American, specifically he's Chinese American, both his mother and father. And he's a practitioner of Taekwondo martial arts. And he's a really good talent. He's been in things like Tropic Thunder, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, Ender's Game. He's done a couple other voice work, like in Teen Titans, The Judas Contract as Beast Boy, but he's really good. And this picture I saw of him, it just looks like absolute Zuko, so I think he'll be great in the role. And then another big change I'm making is for Toph. Before, I picked the girl from Modern Family, and at the time picking her, she wasn't all that old. I think maybe she was 14 or something. She didn't seem that tall. But now she's gotten to be like very tall. Like she's like 5'10", and Toph just isn't that tall at all. So instead, I'm going with Maya Seach. She's a fairly newcomer, but she's done a lot of good work. She's been in Are You Afraid of the Dark? Always Be My Maybe. She's had a starring role in Rim of the World, a Netflix series. She's been in The Darkest Mind, and a couple other things. She's about 13 years old. She's 13 years old, and she was born in Tokyo, Japan. And currently she's 4'11". Other than that, I really love all the cast that I picked, and so I'm just going to add a couple more to that. For the role of June, I'm choosing Gemma Chan. You might have seen her in Crazy Rich Asians. She's also been in the Captain Marvel movie, and she's in this other show called Humans, I think. But she's a really pretty actress. She can definitely pull off that June vibe. And I didn't even cast this person in the original one because there's a obvious choice for so many of you that the Boulder should be played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But I have to break it to you, that is not going to happen. The Rock is like the biggest movie star there is. I highly doubt he will take a small role in a Netflix show. So instead, I think a great replacement would be Roman Reigns, and someone recommended this to me, and I think it's absolutely a perfect idea. Roman Reigns is he's at that perfect celebrity status, especially of a professional wrestler, where he would take these smaller roles. Roman Reigns is half Samoan and half Italian, but he can definitely pull off the look of the Boulder. I mean, just look at this guy. And to round up my changes to the Atla fan cast, I am pretty sure Dante Bosco, the voice of Zuko, will be in this one way or another, because he's really close to Mike and Brian. I know they've talked about him being in it in some way, in some shape or form, and the only role that I could see him filling, which would be a very fitting role, would be the role of Lu Ten, the son of Iroh. I think that could be absolutely beautiful done. Also, it goes into some things I want with the live action changes, and that would be seeing more Iroh flashback. Like, I would love to see whoever the role of Iroh is and seeing him play Iroh up against Dante Bosco's Lu Ten. I want to see the death of Lu Ten just to add a lot more backstory to Iroh. So those are some of the small and big changes I will make to my fan casting of Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. You can find the rest of my casting choices for that here. Alright, if you got something out of this video, please like, comment, and consider subscribing. And sincerely, thank you for watching. I'm out.